Okay, so if you saw the last video or one of the other videos, I don't know what order I'm going to put them in. Wait, hold on. This is Andrew Bard in Southeast Missouri, your urban chicken man. The last video we had showed you that we were going to put this bale of hay up. I'm not entirely sure it's going to stay like this, but the bungee cords seem to be holding it fairly well. This is just up here because, not because hay is cheap, is expensive. It's $4.50 a bale, at least in the area that I live in. It's just because I don't like shopping, so I'm trying to save it. The girls need it for their nesting boxes. Every once in a while I'll throw a little layer down here. But in general, I just don't feel like screwing with it, so I'm trying to save it to make it through the whole season with it. Or at least until the end of summer, let's say. So one of the things you do when you give your chickens is enough room to move around. Now this area right here is about, I want to say about 60 square feet. I think it's 10 by 6 if I'm remembering correctly. That is technically enough space. That is technically enough space for about 15 chickens. You want about 4 square feet per chicken. But if you really want to give them some extra, some people are out there and a lot of people will put in chicken runs. Okay, areas that chickens can run into and do their thing and have their fun and look for bugs and all this other stuff. I don't really have the layout for a chicken run. I've got too much concrete here and too many walkways and everything else. So what I did is I made essentially a second coop, an open air coop. And here's a very cheap way to do that. So here in the corner, okay, I installed a little doggy door. It's on a nylon cord. Nylon cord goes over to my handle here. I open it up in the morning and I close it in the night. Okay, so, oh, well, yeah, why not? Good idea. Because it's probably not going to close properly, so I'll probably have to go in there to close it. So I just tie it to a string. It's got little eye hooks or little eyelets all the way down. Keeps it from getting tangled. Open it up, and it'll close up to about there. So whenever I do their last watering of the night, I'll usually just use my hand to kind of push it down. And quite frankly, there's really no way to make that perfect because the problem is dirt gets in the track, and just accept it's going to be like that. But let's get back to the chicken run, let's say. Okay, the area where the chickens, I call it my open air pen. Very easy. Attach this metal wiring, let's say grating, I guess you want to call it. A couple nails, okay, a couple things to hold it vertical, put them in the ground, tie it through. I went back and forth every 2, so it's on the outside of these 2, the inside of those 2, outside of these 2, inside of those 2, and that holds it in place. Did the same thing over on that side, and you can see in this area here they have tons of room to move around. Now, not only is that going to keep them happier, it's going to keep them healthier, it's going to keep them producing more eggs, because again, and this sounds cliche, but a happy chicken will lay more eggs. If it feels like, oh, there they come, right now. If a chicken doesn't feel safe and secure, if a chicken is unhappy, it's not going to lay as many eggs. It's just that simple. Especially if it doesn't feel safe and secure. If you end up getting a possum in here and one of your chickens get eaten, you're looking at probably about 2 weeks before the other chickens feel comfortable enough to start laying eggs again. You'll get an egg out that night because they're in production, but after that you usually lose about 2 weeks. One of the other things I did in my chicken run, or my open air pen, I need to call it really, is I put a bug zapper in there. And I cut the bottom of the bug zapper off. So let's see if we can get a good look at that from here. So we don't have to go inside. It's on a timer. But yeah, so I'll turn the light on. So let's see which cord goes into here. There we go. Shit. There we go. So I've got a timer so I don't waste electricity. It turns itself on at dusk and turns itself on in the morning. Sorry, wait, turns itself on at dusk, turns itself off in the morning. Another thing, a part of my home automation system, so I just ran a connection for that. Anyway, so I cut the bottom off of that, so as bugs get zapped, they fall down, and hopefully the girls, now that they're just starting to roam outside, they just started doing this yesterday when I pulled a few out to put them in here to encourage that. Hopefully they'll find the little pile of bugs that are sitting there. We don't really have a whole lot right now, but you know, when springtime really starts getting into effect, we'll start getting more. That's really about it, I think. The biggest thing that I want to show you is you can give them things without getting real fancy with it. You can keep them happy, you can keep them healthy, and if you have a problem with them going through that door, like I said, they just started doing that today, exploring. Take the 3 biggest hens out of your flock. Stick them out there and let them find their way in. Because if they see the three biggest are usually, at least one of those will be the leader of the flock, okay, the top of the pecking order. And she will show the other ones that it's okay to go out there. And when I started doing that yesterday, now they start going out on their own. So anyway, so I'm gonna let you watch these girls for a little bit, a couple minutes or so, something like that, if you want to see them play around and whatnot. But as usual, if you have any questions, you can scan the QR code in the bottom right corner. You can send me a message on Facebook. You can send me a message on YouTube. There's links to all the products that we use here in the descriptions. I would say buy it to support the page, but Amazon pretty much killed that program, so it's really just to help you out. Anyway, like I said, if you have any questions, scan the QR code, and otherwise, you guys have a good day.